I'll give you a small example of the stuff that comes across my transom every hour of the day. This is from Jacinda Trudeau in the selfsame Dominion of Canada. 4:05 p.m. The Prime Minister and His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales will participate in a discussion on sustainable finance in combating climate change and building a net zero economy. That's in about, exactly an hour's time from now. Eastern time in North America. Right now, millions upon millions of people don't have, quote, sustainable finances because inflation is the highest in 40 years, the supply chains are wrecked, the cost of the most basic stuff you need to keep body and soul together is going way up, blameless citizens are having to choose between heating and eating, the fall in UK living standards is the worst since 1956, government borrowing is the highest since records began, 1 in 9 people is on the NHS waiting list, and yet the Prince of Wales is holding a discussion on net zero. Let them eat carbon credits. Let us leave aside for the moment the constitutional abomination of all this. He's in residence at Rideau Hall, which is the seat of royal authority in Canada. And he's in Loco Reginae in place of the Queen. And he's touting, look at that. That's his personal customised royal standard in Canada as the Prince of Wales, and yet he's touting net zero as if it's a universally agreed good. It isn't. It's a contentious political position that millions upon millions of his future subjects do not accept, and he has no business taking one side of that when he's representing the Queen. But as I said, set aside the constitutional malodorousness. It's more basic than that. If the Queen's heir or the Queen's prime ministers gave a monkey's cuss about the people, they wouldn't be talking about net zero. They'd be talking about how to stop making things worse for you. But that nice Chancellor of the Exchequer, he's so sexy and rich. He took pity on us and he cut the fuel tax by 5p a litre. Just a few weeks ago. Yeah, well, whoop-de-doo. That was, in fact, less than 2 months ago, and petrol prices are now higher than where they were before his cut. So that did nothing. It's over. It's gone. It's dropping a pebble into the lake. It's over. The water's closed up around it and continued onward. But not to worry, the Prince of Wales is commanding an audience of his mother's Prime Minister so they can talk about net zero as if none of this economic devastation is even happening. Message from His Royal Highness. Nya, can't hear you. Are our rulers truly this feckless, this obtuse, this tone deaf? It's kind of hard to believe. After last night's show, an Australian viewer sent me a note that what's going on is a kind of controlled demolition of the Western world. You know, like when they take down an ugly high-rise building so that it falls in the way they want it to fall. Now, I like a conspiracy theory as much as the next chap, but the idea that our rulers are deliberately demolishing the free world is a bit of a stretch. Except that if they were doing this deliberately, rather than because they're merely stupid, what exactly would they be doing differently? As Laura Perrins pointed out on this show last week, all your current woes, all the things actually afflicting you and tormenting you right now, are what they want. And they quite openly state that it's what they want. You're driving less because you can't afford petrol at the current prices? Oh, that's great, less environmental devastation. You can't afford meat? Likewise great, less of that bovine flatulence that's killing the planet. The price of wheat is up 40%. Oh, no, not good enough. We're going to have to try expanding that Ukraine war to a few neighbouring countries. You didn't get your cancer diagnosed until it had metastasized into full-blown stage 4. Terrific. You're looking at a seriously lower carbon footprint. Congratulations. This is how they talk, quite openly. You're the problem. The COVID softened us up for lockdown. Lockdown softened us up for vaccine passports. Vaccine passports softened us up for Chinese social credit scores. As I mentioned, in just a few days, it's Davos, the World Economic Forum run by Klaus Schwab, the twin brother of Ming the Merciless. That's Ming. That's Ming on the left and Klaus on the right, I believe. And also in a few days, also in Switzerland, it's almost like that's where everything important is happening. It's the World Health Assembly meeting to sign us all up to the new global pandemic treaty promoted by Bill Gates. If you're having a hard time telling one sinister globalist from another, well, Klaus Schwab is Ming the Merciless. And Bill Gates is Moob the Merciless. Oh, don't worry, we'll still have domestic politics, the cake party versus the curry party, with maybe a ginger growler party coming up in between to split the two sides. But all the important stuff will be decided at the Spectre Board meeting in the hollowed-out Swiss Alp between Ming the Merciless, Moob the Merciless, and the other fellas who count when nobody else does. We'll still get to vote for leaders who can pass off the new post-democratic era as something nice and fluffy like, how about working together?
Is especially true when it comes to the climate crisis, which is why we will work together and continue to work together to address these issues, to tackle these challenges, and to work together as we...
And once in a while, you may even get a leader who's serious about, what was Kamala's phrase? Oh, yeah, tackling the challenges, just like Scott Morrison in Tasmania. That's Scott Morrison, tackling the challenges. From 2 weeks to flatten the curve to 2 seconds to flatten your kid. That'll teach that lousy 8-year-old punk not to get his third booster.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows, and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.